So the book is called Children of Blood and Bone, and it's basically Black Panther but with magic. So yeah, if a Wakanda forever, Black Panther but with magic.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking. She didn't mean it literally, you know. But knowing my mind and how I overthink at night, and I don't know if this video is gonna make any fucking sense. Today I was like, what the heck? I'm just gonna let my world go into like this fucking abyss and just, you know, dive right the fuck in, you know? Okay. A short review of Children of Blood and Bone. Here's the thing. I have a hate and love relationship with YA. YA is like, you know when you have a crush, but like, they're an idiot? Like, they're just like an absolute idiot? And you're just like, why the fuck do I like you? Like, I don't know why I like you. Like, that's YA for me. I was actually surprised that I got surprised. There were many points where I was like, I knew it. But then there were other points where I was like, bitch, what? For example, the forbidden trope between A and B. I'm not gonna say who. I love the parallels with the protagonist and the princess because in a sense they were the same. They were the same, but they carried themselves out through different personalities, which I enjoyed. They had similar insecurity, which I feel as if had them bond, and I enjoyed that. Girl on girl love, you know? Literally and figuratively. Tazin, the brother, I fell in love with him. And you know when you fall in love with fictional characters and you're just like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? I'm like 21, I should've, what the fuck? But yeah, I fell in love with him because I related to him because, you know, I'm an older sister. But like him and his dynamic with Enon, those two I found really relatable because I would be at someone's ass if I found them. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say what I was gonna say. So Enon, with the tree, you know, like, you know that part? Yeah. Okay, so that part. I would react the same way. And the ending like broke me. I was just like so exhausted. I was mentally drained. I wasn't crying. I was just like mentally drained. I'm like, yo, this is like a whole fucking journey that I've been reading in one day because I read the book in one day. So much is going on. And I was just like, oh no, mama. And at the end of it, I was kind of just like, yo, just fuck it. Rion? That's his name, right? Or Rayon? I was just so down. I was so mentally drained to the point where I was just like, okay, fuck it. Have Rayon and the protagonist get together. Like, I don't even fucking care anymore. I watched Black Panther for the first time 2 days ago. Black Panther, weirdly enough, didn't feel like any other ordinary superhero movie to me, which I really, really liked. I enjoyed the clashes between the characters T'Challa and Killmonger. Even the side characters had like substance, which I liked. Like, they would clash. She was kind of like a foil to Killmonger. Don't even get me started on Killmonger's last words, because like, that shit got me crying. Because he didn't even seem like a villain to me. He was more so like an antagonist, but like not even. All in all, Black Panther, good movie. Watch it. Yeah. So first I'm gonna start with the obvious two that I found. And that was history of colonialism and the impacts it has on generations. And then the second, the very, very, very obvious, was that everyone was black in some sort of way. Brown, black. So basically what I'm trying to say is diversity was spot on and representation was spot on, and it deserved the hype. Both sources of media, Black Panther and Children of Blood and Bone. One thing though, with the history of colonialism, Black Panther did it in a more overt way where it was more obvious, whether it be with lines or just like Killmonger, the character himself.
How do you think your ancestors got these? You think they paid a fair price? Or did they take it like they took everything else?
Versus Children of Blood and Bone, where it was more so symbolic. You know what I'm saying? There are many broad reoccurring themes such as ego and power imbalances, but it was specific to colorism and how literal skin color and hierarchies within tribes marked certain differences, but also ego and power balances, like I mentioned before. And this was very evident in the interactions between main protagonist and Yemi. The similar context was carried on towards when we were introduced to the princess and how her darker complexion was always ridiculed in minor ways compared to her brother, who was lighter, but also through the affection that she got from her mother and certain jabs and experiences she's felt as she grew up. And that was sort of a reoccurring theme. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. That was sort of a reoccurring thing. Whereas in Black Panther, it wasn't necessarily overt with skin color, because I saw many various shades of brown and black through the tribes that were in Wakanda. The distinctions were made differently. Specifically, I found it was through like actual geographical locations apart and outside of Wakanda itself.
Americans.
And language, accent, and how people delivered themselves verbally. This was seen through the contrast of both characters, T'Challa and Killmonger.
What's up? I ain't never yielded that. All that challenge shit is over with.
And how Killmonger was always an outsider not due to, I shouldn't say due to, but like there were many aspects of the way he delivered, the way he talked, how he was just American raised, and like he dealt with the oppressions outside of Wakanda. The obvious other reasons for why he's considered an outsider, his problematic goals, like wanting to reveal Wakanda to the world so he can use the weapons and oppress others the same way him and people that look like him were oppressed. And like killing people nonstop without remorse, marking it onto his sexy bod. You know, with all that, he wasn't really fit for the king. But what is my concluding point? Oh yes, but basically my concluding point is how in both there's some sort of conversation in an othering, you know what I'm saying? There's an othering factor where you take us and them. Like I found that to be in both. So like just additional similarities and differences, the tribal aspects of both, but also the hierarchy that comes with it. And like in Black Panther, the Jabari tribe, for example, when they found out that they were gonna use vibranium for tech and like expanding Wakanda and have like a king that ate an herb and drank an herb, and then all this, you know, if you watch the movie, you know it. But they basically fled sea and they're like, nah, bitch, we ain't gonna stay here. We're gonna go all like vintage with this shit and gonna stay in the mountains, right? So they left, and because of that, there was an isolation. You know, isolation, and it's kind of just like, yo, you're not a part of us. And again, an othering aspect where it's just like, boop, you're there and we're here. In Children of Blood and Bone, it was more so, again, the geographical placement and just plain mystery. And through that, the ones that we were introduced to gave me the sense of like, okay, these ones are important and I need to know about them and read about them as it's shown. But the ones that were in mystery kind of set on this weird hierarchy of like what I need to know as a reader without all my fuckery. When you conclude, they had tribes. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it at that and keep it fucking simple. Another similarity is how they fought. Differences, well, among many that I'm pretty sure I didn't pick up on and I don't want to talk about, the obvious is magic. Children of Blood and Bone, there's a struggle to have magic back. Whereas in Black Panther, it's more of just, yo, we just want to stay in our like area, in our zone, in our base. Y'all are coming in and like fucking with us. Like, we just want to be left alone. To conclude this giant fuck mess, when taking it's Black Panther, but with magic, literally, I'd say yes and no.